Hello and welcome to Channel 2S. I'm your host, Second Soundwave, and it's time to continue our build of the high-grade Universal Century ZII Travis Kirkland colors. Last time we built the upper body of this mobile suit, and today we're going to start work on the legs and waist. Now it is a little bit late tonight, so I apologize for the kind of crappy indoor lighting on this, as well as the fact that I might not be able to get very much done tonight, since again it is late, but I'll see what we can do. So let's get right to the build. Okay, so to start with, it looks like for this leg here we're going to need pretty much everything off of C2, as well as a few parts each off of, well, pretty much every runner in this kit, since the parts for the legs seem to be spread pretty far across the runners on the kit. And while I'm cutting these out, I think I'm going to talk a little bit about metal builds, because the line's got a bit of attention recently, and I want to talk about this, and I was going to put it in its own video, and then I thought, you know what, I don't know, they're not really gunpla, they're kind of more action figures, and I don't know if they necessarily fit the theme. I mean, they would, they're Gundam, but they're not gunpla, and it's gunpla news, not Gundam news, so I decided to not talk about this. But there is a poll recently that was done on, I think on Gundam Info, that was basically regarding what metal build figure people wanted to see Bandai make next. Now, if you're not familiar with the metal build line, basically they're roughly 1/100 scale, kind of stylized action figures for Gundam that are, and also, ladies and gentlemen, we have our first empty plate of the kit. This calls for minor celebration. Okay, you can stop celebrating now. So, basically, they've got like metal in the joints and stuff, sort of like a Chogokin figure, and they're just really cool, and they look really awesome, and they're also like $250 each, if you can get them on pre-order, and they sell out really fast, and aftermarket they're usually like, I don't know, like 45,000 yen I usually see them for, so they're pretty hard to get hold of, unless you got, you know, crazy money to spend on stuff like that, and I don't, so I haven't picked up any of them yet. However, in that poll, the one that won was actually the new Gundam, and I think the Zeta and Double Zeta came up pretty high behind it. And what really surprised me about that particular poll was that the RX-78-2, the original Gundam, everybody's favorite, literally came in dead last. Like, that's the only time I've ever seen that happen in a poll before. Usually, if the RX-78 is an option, even if it doesn't really make sense to make a figure of the RX-78 or a piece of merchandise relating to it, it will always end up in the top 3 just because nostalgia. So it kind of surprised me to see it that low on the list, but it kind of got me thinking about what I would like to see in the metal build line. And of course they mentioned the new Gundam, and if you're wondering what the kind of metal build sort of style is, well, you could just Google it. You could also look at the Master Grade Strike Freedom 2.0, since that actually takes a lot of visual cues from the metal build, so you kind of get a good idea of that from that if you built that kit. So that kind of design, and I was thinking, okay, what kind of mobile suits would look cool in that design? And one of the first things that came to mind was the Double Zeta Gundam, which, like I said, did actually come in pretty high on the poll. And I think it would look pretty cool, especially if they did a upgrade set for it with the Phas parts. That would just be so cool. And of course, also I got thinking that what would be pretty cool as well would be the High Nu Gundam. And they tend to add little extra kind of mechanical functions to the metal builds that you don't normally see in the kind of canonical designs. And what I thought would be cool to do for the High Nu Gundam is, you know how the shield has like those stripes on it? So it's got like the diagonal stripes that are like blue and white that kind of run down the shield. I think having the shield open up along those stripes, kind of like the Unicorn Gundam, to make like a kind of destroy mode for the shield, I think that would look pretty cool. It could expose like some maybe gold parts underneath or something. I just think that would be a really neat idea. And another one that came to mind, of course, the RX-78, I can kind of see why it got that low on the poll, because it's a really plain design and there's not much you can do with it as far as the kind of metal build aesthetic goes. And then I thought, well, you know what they could do? Perfect Gundam, because the Perfect Gundam has a lot of stuff on it, and there's a lot of room for them to fit in lots of moving panels and extra details and like sharp angular sections. And in general, it could just be a pretty awesome figure. So I kind of got thinking about that and came to the conclusion that those in fact would make pretty awesome metal builds. Another one that kind of crossed my mind as well, although I'm not quite sure it would be very likely to get made, although we did get an F91. If you're not familiar with it, the Metal Build F91 is the most recent one they've announced, and that's about as left field as you can get, so part of me is convinced anything's possible in that line at this point. So I'm just going to say it right now, I kind of want to see a Metal Build Shining Gundam. Because again, it has the, what is that, like, I don't even know what it's called, but that thing that the Shining Gundam does where like all the armor opens and there's like the gold underneath, I really like that, and I feel they could just take that to the extreme with the Metal Build kind of design aesthetic and the way that they're engineered. So I'm really kind of liking that and thinking that that would be a pretty cool thing for them to do. This may very well be completely the wrong number of polycaps. I'm not really sure. I'm kind of just glancing over this here, and if I find I need more polycaps after I've started building, I'll just pop a few more off the runners, and it's not that hard to get a hold of more of them. So, I think that's all the parts that I will need to make the first leg. So, I'm going to denub these and then come back to you in just a moment. Okay, so it is now fairly late at night, and I do have all the parts of this denubbed, so I'm probably just going to build this one leg tonight. So I'm going to just get started right now. So this polycap looks like it's going to go in here. I mean, this is a hip joint. I've built many of these before. I'm pretty familiar with how they go together, so this shouldn't take too long. There's the other half of it. Here it is. You go right here, don't you? Yep. Right here. Okay, there's a hip. Yeah, this. These definitely go together. Yep. Oh, nice little vents. Have this flap, and which way does this go? This way? Or is it, well, there's an indent for it, so. Yeah, it's got to be this way. Okay. There's that leg panel. What else do we have here? Where is that? Oh, here it is. I was like, wait a minute, I'm pretty sure I remember denubbing that, so where is it? But it's right here. So there's the top of the foot. Here is what will be the back of the foot, but I'll need to do a little bit of assembly on this first. And what kind of polycap is that? That is two kinds of polycaps I'll need. I'll need a 1 type polycap to go up here, and the 10 type polycap to go down here. Is that right? Yep, guess that is right. Okay. So, these together, this right here, and I guess this just kind of goes like that, and hang on, how are you supposed to go in there? Oh, there we go. Okay, so as you can see, very weird, crazy feet. They have this weird little jiggly thing they do, so we'll see how that turns out once this is all built up. But right now, what we need to do is take this and pop a PC right in here. So like this. And then where's that PC3? Right here. So you're going in. Come on. Come on. There you go. Oh, there's a lot of flashing on that polycap right there. Okay, so you're going like this, right? Or is it like this? It's like this. It is kind of late right now, so I am just stumbling my way through this build. Not paying too much attention to the order of operations here. I'm just kind of just getting it done. Okay. Ooh. I have reservations about this ankle joint. This is really kind of feels very Exia. And if you built the Master Grade, you know what I mean by that. So I'm going to leave that there for now, and I am going to grab onto which I guess it's this part that goes on right here. So this would go here, I think, or is it this? What? Hang on. So back, it goes on this side. Okay. Okay, so it goes on this side. And then this goes right here. I would have built the other leg first so I had an idea of how stuff was going to go together, but again, it was late at night. It is late at night, so I don't have the luxury of time. And why did I not do it early in the day, you ask? Well, I was very busy. So, I need, what is it? This, it looks like, goes right here. And these go together. And then this goes in here. And then I guess this goes here. Looks like it. Yeah, this goes here. And then you put a little... You are not wanting to go in, are you? Come on. Sit your butt down in there. There you go. I think I might have this backwards. Do I? No, I think that's right. Yep, okay, I had it backwards. So it actually goes this way. So this side, press down here. See? And that makes sense because now it's going together much tighter. And I think that'll hold the... Yeah, there we go. That'll hold the knee joint much better than before. So now he has a nice... Well, not great. He does have a pretty nice deep ankle bend. And then the ankle thingy, or the shoulder... Not shoulder. I am running out of joints to call this. This is a hip. So his hip's right here. I like the shape of this where it's got like kind of ball shape to it. Looks kind of cool. And then I have an extra polycap one that I did not need to cut out. But here we have a leg. Now to build the accessories to go with it. And by accessories, what I mean is hip skirts. So this is going to go together very fast. Just a little polycap ball joint that you pop into this. Come on. Into this black piece right here. And then there's a little red piece that goes on top of it, and it looks like it just plugs in right here onto the side of his leg. So there we go. So we got a swivel, we have a ball joint, we have a nice knee joint, and then the ankles are really weird, and these don't feel like they have very much strength to them at all, and that's honestly worrying me. It really is, because I feel like this won't be able to hold up the final kit, but I guess we'll see when we get it all together. So this is the ZII Travis Kirkland Custom as I've built it so far. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like. If you're new here, subscribe. We are just over 1,900 subscribers right now, and we have X amount of days until our goal, and that number should be right up on the screen right now. And the goal right now is 2,000 subscribers by that date, November 24th. We're going to do this. It's going to be cool. So basically share this around. Share any of these videos around to your Facebook build groups, your Twitters, your Tumblrs, or wherever. Any kind of place Gunpla people will see it. I want to make this community as big as it possibly can be, and I think 2,000 is a pretty reasonable goal we could definitely hit by Thanksgiving. So, I'm your host, Second Soundwave, and I'll see you next time. Also, comment down below the Gundam you want to see most in the Metal Build series, because why not?